Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, Matibay. In this session, you will be learning how to solve quadratic equation by completing the square. But before that, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button. We're going to find a constant term that should be added to the following expressions to create a perfect square trinomial and then express it to a square of a binomial. So our two examples are x squared minus 10x plus blank is equal to 0 and x squared minus 7x plus blank is equal to 0. So let's start with the first expression. What we're going to do first. First, we're going to find the coefficient of x and get the 1/2 of it. So meaning we're going to divide it by 2. So our coefficient is 10 and we will divide it by 2. So our answer is 5. Then after that, we were going to square 5. What is the square of 5? That is 25. So meaning our constant to make this expression a perfect square trinomial is 25. So our expression now is x squared minus 10x plus 25 is equal to 0. So this is a perfect square trinomial already. So we can now express this into a square of a binomial. Its factor. What we're going to do? We're going to get the square root of x squared, which is x, this one. And we're going to get the square root of 25, which is 5. Now, our square of a binomial is the square of x minus 5 is equal to 0. How about in our second example? X squared minus 7x plus 5 plus blank is equal to 0. So, what we're going to do? We're going to find the coefficient of x, which is what? 7. And we will divide it by 2. And after that, as you can see, since it is fraction, and if you're going to divide this, it will gives you an improper fraction. So there's no need for you to change this into improper fraction. Just square it directly. So what is the square of 7? And that is 49. And what is the square of 2? And that is 4. So, therefore, our perfect square trinomial is x squared minus 7x plus 49 over 4 is equal to 0. Now, let's express this perfect square trinomial into a square of a binomial. All you have to do is get the square root of x squared, which is x, and the square root of 49 over 4 is 7 over 2. So this is our square of a binomial. Another method of solving quadratic equations is by completing the square. This method involves transforming the quadratic equation ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0 in the form the quantity of x minus h raised to the power of 2 is equal to k, where k is greater than or equal to 0. The value of k should be positive to obtain a real number solution. Let us solve the first example by completing the square the quadratic equation y squared plus 6y plus 8 is equal to 0. The first step we're going to do is divide both sides of the equation by a, then simplify. In the given equation, y squared plus 6y plus 8 is equal to 0. The a is equal to 1. Since a is equal to 1, we don't need to divide both sides of the equation by 1 because the equation will stay as it is. So what we're going to do, we will write the equation such that the term with variables, this one, are on the left side of the equation, and the constant term, which is the 8, is on the right side of the equation. Okay. So simply, you get the opposite of positive 8, which is negative 8, and add to the both sides of the equation, and the result is y squared plus 6y is equal to negative 8, because positive 8 minus 8 is 0. So the remaining terms are y squared plus 6y. And then 0 minus 8, that is negative 8. Then after that, we add the square of 1/2 of the coefficient of y. So we will get the 1/2 of the coefficient of y. In this equation, the coefficient of y is 6. So we will multiply 6 by 1/2. So 6 times 1/2, that is 6 over 2. So 6 divided by 2, that is equal to 3. Then we will square the number 3. So the result is 9, because 3 times 3 is 9. Now we can add 9 to the both sides of the equation. Y squared plus 6y plus 9 is equal to negative 8 plus 9. Then what happens next? It becomes the quantity of y plus 3 raised to the power of 2 is equal to 1. Why? What happened? We just get the square root of y squared, which is y, the square root of 9, which is 3. So our square of a binomial is the quantity of y plus 3 raised to 2. And now we can solve the resulting quadratic equation by extracting the square root. We can now apply the square root property, wherein we're going to square both sides of the equations. So the square root of the quantity y plus 3 raised to 2 is equal to the positive and negative square root of 1. So you apply what you have learned in extracting square root, no? So we will cancel the radical sign and the exponent, and what we have is y plus 3 is equal to the positive and negative 1. Why 1? Because the square root of 1 is 1. And now we have two values of y here, when 1 is positive and when 1 is negative. So let us try solve first when 1 is positive. So what is the answer? Y plus 3 minus 3 is equal to 1 minus 3. So the result is y is equal to negative 2, because 1 minus 3 is negative 2. And then when our 1 here is what? Negative, like here. So y plus 3 minus 3 is equal to negative 1 minus 3. The result is y is equal to negative 4. So you can check your answer by substituting the values of y to the original equations. Okay? Okay, let us solve by completing the square, the quadratic equation 3x squared minus 4x minus 15. What we're going to do first, we will divide both sides of the equation by the coefficient a, then simplify. So what is the coefficient of a? So since in the quadratic term, the coefficient of our quadratic term, which is 3x squared, is 3, so therefore our a is equal to 3. So that is our divisor. We're going to divide 3x squared minus 4x minus 15 is equal to 0 all over 3, meaning we will divide each term, the numerator to the denominator, which is 3. So 3 divided by 3 divided by 3, that is 1. So therefore the remaining term is x squared. Then 4 divided by 3, so since we cannot divide it perfectly, so we will just write the fraction 4/3 x, and then 15 divided by 3, that is 5, is equal to 0. So what we're going to do next, we will write the equation such that the terms with variables, this one with variables, are on the left side of the equation, and the constant term is on the right side. This one constant term be in the right side of the equation. So x squared minus 4 3x, we will get the opposite of negative 5, which is positive 5. Ay, nako, negative 5 plus 5 is equal to 0 plus 5. Then what's next? We are going to simplify. So x squared minus 4 3x is equal to negative 5 plus 5 is already 0. So 0 plus 5, that is 5. Now we are done isolating the terms with variable and the constant term. Let us proceed to the next step. We're going to add the square of 1/2 the coefficient b on both sides of the resulting equation. Then the left side of the equation becomes a perfect square trinomial. So what is the coefficient of b in our quadratic equation x squared minus 4 over 3x is equal to 5? Yes, the coefficient of b is equal to 4 over 3. And what we're going to do with our b, which is 4 over 3, we're going to get the 1/2 of 4 over 3. So we will just multiply 4/3 times 1/2. And the result is 4 times 1, 4. 3 times 2 is 6. So since 4 over 6 can be reduced into lowest term, because both 4 and 6 can be divided by 2, so we will divide it by 2. So our simplified form now is 2 over 3. So what we're going to do with 2 over 3 after that? We were going to square 2 over 3. So what is the square of 2 over 3? 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 3 is 9. So 4 over 9 is our constant term that we're going to add in the quadratic equation. X squared minus 4 3x is equal to 5. So we will write x squared minus 4 over 3x to both sides of the equation, the 4 over 9 is equal to 5 plus 4 over 9. So since it's already a perfect square trinomial, the x squared minus 4x plus 4 over 9, we can now express this into a binomial. Square of a binomial. What is the square root of x squared? X. What is the square root of 4 and 9? Square root of 4 is 2, and the square root of 9 is 3. So this is now the square of a binomial. And then we will solve. 5 plus 4 over 9 becomes 45, plus 9 divided by 9 is 1, times 4 is 4. So becomes 49 over 9. Grabe naman na to. So 45 plus 4 is equal to 49 over 9. So our this time We can now solve the resulting quadratic equation by extracting the square root. So we will square x minus 2 over 3 raised to the power of 2 is equal to 49 over 9. We will square both sides the equation. And after that, cancel this one, the square root, the radical sign, and the exponent 2. And the remaining term is x minus 2 over 3 is equal to, what is the square root of 49? It is 7, and the square root of 9 is 3. Plus and minus 7 over 3. So what we're going to do next? We're going to solve the resulting linear equations. What is the resulting linear equations? As you can see, we have two possible values of x here. When 7 over 3 is positive, and when also 7 over 3 is negative. So x minus 2 over 3, we will get the opposite of negative 2 over 3, which is positive 2 over 3, and we will add that to both sides of the equation. 7 over 3 plus 2 over 3. We will solve first when 7 over 3 is positive. So what we're going to do, we will just add 7 plus 2, that is 9 over 3. What is 9 divided by 3? And that is 3. So x is equal to 3 when 7 over 3 is positive. Now what if our 7 over 3 is negative? So we will solve x minus 2 over 3 is equal to negative 7 over 3. Same process, we will get the opposite of negative 2 over 3, and we will add both sides of the equation. So x minus 2 over 3 plus 2 over 3 is equal to negative 7 over 3 plus 2 over 3. So the resulting equation now is x is equal to negative 7 plus 2. That is negative 5 over, copy the common denominator, which is 3. So we have two solutions. First is x is equal to 3 and x is equal to negative 5 over 3. You can check your answers by substituting these two values to the original equation. That's all for this session. Goodbye, everyone.